Right now, you're probably aware that we're facing an addiction epidemic. And really, it's not limited to the United States, it's in the world. And from where I'm sitting, from the vantage point of somebody who spent over a quarter century looking at this problem, and I think most of us agree, our approach to treating addiction, generally speaking, has failed. Too many people are dying. Families are being ripped apart still. The elements that are necessary to recover from addiction are still misunderstood and refuted. Our treatment industry is replete with fraud, dishonesty, lack of experience, sometimes very well-intentioned, but lack of experience. Recovery happens in stages. And different people will need different things at different times. The things that I needed when I was 6 months sober are different than what I needed when I was 5 years sober. That shifted later on when I was 15 years sober, and it shifted again, and now I'm 20 years sober, 27 years sober, and I need something else today. Based upon the needs of my life, the only thing that matters is that we stay on a path of willingness to look. Okay, I'm having a good day today. That's fantastic. Let's enjoy that fully. I'm having a challenging day today. What's it trying to teach me? What did I miss along the way? What's the lesson I might get from all this? If you're willing to be on that path of self-inquiry, then things will work out. How can we support each other to do this? How can we create better outcomes in our treatment modality? How can we get people to understand that this is a process that never ends? This is not something that's going to be solved in 30 days, or 60 days, or 90 days. We're all subject to the human condition, and as far as I can tell, it's going to last as long as we're here. So we're always going to be in this process of evolution and learning, and the next lesson plan, surely, if we're willing to look, the next lesson plan is surely going to be coming for us. So what I've seen recently, in these recent years, is a lot of panic. Now, when you have panic, you see people in power necessarily obligated to try to solve a problem. And so it's kind of like the people who don't really know necessarily what's going on or how to solve this problem will reach for the next thing that's presented. So we're all a little bit a sucker for the last argument from somebody who makes a good case. It just so happens that we're talking about human development, human spirituality. So often, the last person who made the best case might be a scientist. And there's nothing wrong with science or pursuing things in that way. It's just that it's very difficult to put scientific metrics onto human and spiritual development. So because of that challenge, if we're looking for the scientifically backed, peer-reviewed white paper that explains how a transformation takes place in a human being, I think we're going to fall short of that. So I think, once again, it comes down to grassroots movements of one person in recovery with experience, with an open heart and willingness to try to help another person in recovery. That was the root and the basis for the founding of what was arguably the most important movement of the 20th century, certainly in the United States, and that's the 12-step movement. It's not the only way to recover. But boy, oh boy, it has helped so many millions of people over the last 80 years. It's worth looking at. Certainly helpful for me and Nikki and Rolf. And we encourage everybody to inquire within, to take a look and explore for yourself what works.